Hi friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is going to be a ranking my last 10 palettes. I have 10 palettes here that I'm very excited to share with you. Some of these were major hits, maybe a couple of these weren't my top favorites, but for the most part, this was a pretty good roundup of palettes. I love doing these videos. I love sitting here and reflecting on what I've tried recently and trying to convey my thoughts as to why I might like some things more than others. I take into account the themings, the formulas, my likelihood to reach for it again, stuff like that. And maybe we have completely opposite tastes. Maybe my least favorite is your top favorite, and that's okay too. Things would be so boring if we all liked the same stuff. I did initially get this video idea from Annette's Makeup Corner. I'll have her channel down below for you. And I did, of course, film this look. It's from a recent Get Ready With Me with the new Lethal Cosmetics Adventure Time collection. And yeah, I think that pretty much says it all. Let's just hop into the video itself and get to ranking. Ooh, I got these palettes here in front of me. I'm pretty certain on my order. I knew for sure what the top 3 were gonna be, and I knew for sure what the bottom 3 were gonna be. But some of those ones in the middle, I wasn't completely sure. It took me a few tries moving things around until it felt right. And I think I've settled on how it should be. By the way, if you think I'm forgetting something in this ranking, I promise you I'm not. I take very thorough notes. It was either in the last ranking and you missed it, I have it and I just haven't tried it yet, and it'll be in a future ranking, or I simply just don't have it and you're mistaken, my friend. But anyways, without further ado, let's hop into this ranking. Number 10, I decided to give to the ColourPop Tangled palette. I was actually very excited because I feel like just theme-wise, this is so pretty. I'm a big Disney person. I love Tangled, and I think this is such a pretty palette. Like, you open it up and there's a whole scene next to the palette itself, and I do feel like the color story reflects the theme so beautifully. However, quality-wise, it just wasn't my top favorite. It's not horrible, don't get me wrong. I just feel like the mattes are a little sheer for my liking, and granted, I don't expect this to be a dark palette at all. It's not a dark themed movie. It's a lot of bright colors and purples and yellows and lanterns and things like that. But I just feel like when I was using the particular mattes, I just wanted a little more impact. And the shimmers are nice, but overall, I just feel like this isn't the most memorable palette for me. I feel like I've tried other ColourPop palettes in the past that just hit harder for me, and this just unfortunately wasn't one of them. Again, it's not a horrible palette. If you are a ColourPop person, if you love Tangled, I think you'd probably really like this. It just didn't quite live up to what I expect as far as what I want out of eyeshadow. And by the way, I have looks with all of these palettes, whether it's on Instagram, YouTube, both. You can check out my various platforms to see these in action. And I will also have everything linked in my description box in case you feel like shopping. It goes without saying, but just because I'm sitting here talking about all these eyeshadow palettes does not mean you need all of these eyeshadow palettes. Maybe you need none of these eyeshadow palettes, and this is simply just a form of entertainment for you, seeing what all the new eyeshadow is lately. But if any of these do catch your eye and my explanations on why I like or dislike certain things resonate with you and you feel like shopping, I'll have everything linked down below for you, as well as any discount codes if I have any. Number 9, I decided to give to the Ghostly Glam from Salem Cosmetics. I do love this theme. I love the spooky, ghoulish sort of vibe. I think it's very cool. I like the mixture of the different blues with the pops of red and really pretty shimmers. Lots of beautiful, iridescent, striking shimmers are in here. The only reason I ranked this one as low as I did, and it's so nitpicky, but I kind of have to be when I'm playing with a roundup of palettes that are all virtually pretty good, I just felt like the mattes are a little dry for my preference. Again, it's not bad. The looks I've created with this palette have been really pretty, and the shimmers do stand out to me a lot. I think they're really shifty and special, but I don't know. It's just maybe not the first thing I'm gonna reach for. I have other formulas that I prefer. It was just a little bit dry, but again, the looks I created were good, so if that's not a problem for you, then cool. And I really don't consider it a problem for me. I just have to think of the nitpicky things when creating the order for these rankings, or else multiple things would be tied for the same place, and that just won't do. We gotta give things their proper spot. So pretty much just a preference thing is why I ended up ranking this one a little bit lower, but I did like this one far more than the Tangled one. I do like this color story and the overall theme, and the shimmers, again, the shimmers are so pretty. It just maybe wasn't my perfect palette formula-wise. Number 8, I decided to give to the Wicked Widow Beauty American Psycho palette. This whole collab was so super cool. I got this palette and one of the lipsticks and one of the glosses, and it's just such a fun collection. You open it up and we have so many different perfectly on theme names with Dorcia, Bone, Eggshell, Jean, Patrick Bateman, Frenzy, Double Light, Life, Detective Kimball. Like, we have all the themes, all the cool things. I like the blood splatter in the background. It's such a fun, campy, it's a good mixture of like funny and absurd, but also creepy, and I love it. The main reason I ranked this one as low as I did, and if you know me at all, you probably know why. I am personally running the war against beige, in case you didn't know. You can sign up. We can all run the war together. But there's just like a couple too many beiges for my preference. I'm also not so much of a neutral girl. I do dabble in neutrals occasionally, but if you can't tell, I love color. Color and grungy tones are just my favorite. So the fact that this is a half neutral, half colorful, it's just not my go-to sort of color story. I feel like maybe if this had been condensed a bit, maybe only 3 rows instead of 4, and we knocked out maybe 5 of the unnecessary browns, I maybe would have ranked this a little bit higher, but in general, this is just more of a palette that I appreciate the theming. The quality is amazing. I feel like I should say that too. Wicked Widow has amazing quality. I feel like their mattes are so blendable, and their shimmers are so beautiful on the eyes. They are so rich and metallic and just so shiny and beautiful. Like, these shimmers are incredible. Even like the neutral shimmers are really, really pretty. I don't have a problem with those. I just feel like some of these browns are a little too repetitive for me. But maybe you are a neutral person and you see this and you see so many like combinations and ideas and then adding in splashes of color. Maybe this is perfect for you. Maybe a half neutral, half colorful is your thing. It's just not my go-to color story, but I appreciate the theming. I love the formulas. So it really is just a matter of preference here with the color story. So now we're in the part where really the next 4 I kind of moved around multiple times. So they're not tied for the same place because I did put them in a spot, but just know that like 7 through 4, I moved around a lot, and these all could have ended up in any of those spots, if that means anything to you. But number 7, I decided to give to the Nomad Cosmetics Route 66. She's really pretty, honestly. I love an earthy color story. I love that everything is very like muted but colorful. Like, we have it arranged so beautifully. Like, I like that we have this very warm section over here and then this greenish blue, and then we have these splashes of metallics all down the center. So pretty. This doesn't have to do with the movie Cars directly, but Cars is one of my favorite movies. It's just so good, and obviously one of the main plot points of Pixar's movie Cars is Route 66. So this just feels like a Cars palette to me. I can't explain it further than that. That's my explanation. But I think this is really, really pretty. I like the earthy vibes. The shade names are very on point. It's very, very cool. There is a beige I could have ditched. If you know me, you know. I don't need this in here personally, but everything else is really beautiful. Nomad has an amazing formula. I always say it's very beginner friendly because they build up very softly and easily, and I feel like you can't overdo it with their mattes. Like, they blend and build up so just effortlessly. So if you're a beginner, you'd probably really like their formula. And their shimmers are really pretty. I feel like they do a good job playing around with different formulas. Like, sometimes they go with more shifty multi-chromey, sometimes they go with just like bold metallic, and I like seeing them kind of play with that. These ones are very just like in your face, just like metallic shimmer. They're super pretty, super vibrant, and I had a great time playing with this one. I really enjoy Nomad. Number 6, I decided to give to the Adventure Time Candy Kingdom palette from Lethal Cosmetics. It's actually what I'm wearing right now. I mean, I said that in the beginning, that it was with the Adventure Time collab, but just in case you missed that. Here's the inside. She is chaotic and colorful and crazy and wonderful and weird and all of the fun Adventure Time themes and names, and it's so cool. It's a very well thought out collab, like more than just the palette, but the collab in general. Lethal has such a beautiful eyeshadow formula. Their mattes are just so easy to work with. They just blend like a dream, and their shimmers are so pretty, and I really feel like Lethal has stepped it up more and more as time goes on. Like, everything just gets better and better with their quality, and these shimmers and mattes are no different. I'm especially impressed with the shimmers. I just think they're so glowy and special. I have like 4 different shimmers across my eyes today, and they're just so pretty. The theming is so cute. I think they did such a good job with that, and the formulas are amazing. The main reason I decided not to rank this one higher is just because it's so many shades, and I just do prefer a little bit more of a condensed color story. This isn't overkill, and I feel like the fact that they did smaller pans and made the palette itself not a table does help in that favor, but I do feel like it's just more shadows than I prefer. And I don't think it's a bad thing for this palette, but when I'm really trying to be nitpicky and take into account what I would rank above others, the other 5 just kind of stole the show a little bit more. They kind of just made it ahead of it, but I do still think this is really, really pretty. I like that there's so many colors in here, but it's not just a basic rainbow palette. That I love to see. I love when something can be just very chaotic and colorful without it just being a typical rainbow. I like that we have a bunch of like weird undertones and weird shades and like all these different shifty metallics in here. They're just really, really pretty. So overall, I think this was really well done. Like I said, these kind of middle palettes were hard for me to place because I moved them in different ways, because there's things I like about all of these in different ways for different reasons. But I ended up settling here, I think mostly just because it's more shades than I typically like to gravitate toward. But moving on to the top 5, these are 5 really fantastic palettes, and I guess we should just get into them. Number 5, I'm giving to the Dede Signature Drops of Fantasy palette. She's lovely. Dede Signature is one of those brands that I feel like has truly been trying so hard to just evolve and get better and better. Like, their quality keeps improving, their packaging keeps improving, their theming keeps improving, and I love to see that. Their Fearless Holiday was one of my top favorite palettes of the whole year last year, and this one is stunning. I feel like just the presentation of this is so, so pretty. I love that we kind of have these rich shades at the top and then these more softer, not necessarily pastels, but we kind of have a balance of like bold meets soft, and it's just such a cool combo. All these different shimmers in the middle have beautiful shifts, and they can kind of play on different tones depending on how you use them. Again, it's kind of a chaotic, weird, colorful color story without it just being a typical rainbow. It's just whimsical and weird and chaotic in all the best ways, and I love to see it. Like I said, they've really been improving over time, and their quality's really, really nice. Their mattes are so pigmented and they blend so nicely. I feel like they have just a very, I don't know, just a nice rich saturation to them, but they don't require too much effort to like blend and make work. And their shimmers are just show-stopping. They are so shifty and metallic and pretty. I really, really like this one. I feel like there's a lot of cool color combos you can do. Number 4, I'm giving to the Remastered Smoky Glam palette. She is gorgeous. This is a kind of remastered, condensed version of the original Smoky Glam. I did do a like get ready with me playing with this palette where I did insert comparisons to the original if you want to see those comparisons. But the original palette was probably like 30 shades. It was huge. And this is kind of like they took the most important shades of what made that palette and made it a more condensed small version, which for me was ideal. Like, this completely replaced the old one for me. I'm giving the old one to a friend. This is a lot more my speed. As much as I did enjoy that original palette and I did keep it around despite it being larger than I prefer, I felt like the tones were just so pretty and the quality was incredible. But seeing a more condensed version that gives a similar vibe makes me really happy. The shimmers in this one also got stepped up to be even more special. Like, it is similar, so don't feel like you need to run out and get this one if you have the original. Like, the original still suffices. They're pretty much the same with just very minor tweaks. But for me, this was a great like remastered edition. And maybe this was on your mind originally, but the big one was just too big. So this is gonna be a lot more your speed, but I'm very happy with this. I think it's stunning. It's glamorous and grungy. I love plummy tones, especially when it hits winter time. I don't know what it is, but plummy tones are like one of my favorite things to reach for in the winter. I love all these different shimmers. I like that this can be very like pretty cutesy, but it can also be very dramatic, grungy, depending on how you play with it. It's a really cool, versatile palette within this color family. Oh, the top 3. Like I said at the beginning, I knew without a shadow of a doubt what the top 3 were gonna be for this video, and they are super, super good. I feel like they all just have really fun, unique themes and really cool color stories, and very much me palettes. Number 3, I'm giving to the Ranger from Fantasy Cosmetica. This is their newest palette in their lineup. They always do these class-themed palettes, and now we have the Ranger. The Ranger has joined the party, and it is such a cool color story. I love the balance of these weird greens, a couple pops of mint with some like rusty oranges mixed in. The combination of like the green with the orange is a really, really cool combo, and I like that these are more kind of muted tones. Like, they're not just bright green with bright orange. Like, they're a little bit more earthy and just so, so pretty. I adore Fantasy Cosmetica and their formulas. Their mattes are just always so, so delicious to work with. They're just always so pigmented and blendable and so rich and so good. And their shimmers are just incredible. The sparkle, the metallic nature of them, they're just incredible. I can't say enough good things about this brand. This like shifty shade Ambush in the center is so, so cool. I love this dark, like blackened green with the like golden sparkle. It's just so pretty. So pretty. It's such a fun color story. This was one of those ones where like, when I first saw a picture of it when it was getting sent to me, I was intrigued because I love this brand, but when I actually like had it in my hands and started using it, I was like, okay, wait, this is actually amazing. This is one of my favorites they've done. I think it's really, really cool. Number 2, I decided to give to my Singe Beauty Agate Temptation. This is Singe's second eyeshadow launch, and it is so pretty. This launched fairly recently, and I love it. I've done multiple looks with this one. It's just so earthy and yummy. I love the combination of like the brights meets the murky tones. It's just such a good combination. Like when a palette can have like darker, grungier tones with pops of brightness, it has my heart. The formulas are so pretty in here. We have a few different kinds of shimmers in here. Like we have some that are more just standard metallic, some that are more like toppery, some that are more like multi-chromy. It's a really good mixture, and the mattes are really, really beautiful to work with. Again, I feel like everything's just so creamy and blendable and pigmented. Like that's just the common theme as I get higher and higher in the ranking, is the formulas are great, because otherwise they wouldn't be as high in the ranking. But this is beautiful. I think she's so stunning, and I'm super, super excited about this new launch. I think there's a lot you can do with it, because you can really play with very much the greens. You can play with more of the orangey reddish tones. You can go pretty neutral if you wanted to, but it's not like boring neutral either. I feel like this is a really good balance of tones, and I've had a great time with it. And last but not least, ranked number 1. If you've been watching my videos lately, I don't think this will be surprising at all that this was ranked number 1, but I decided to give it to the Ocean Jewel palette from Beaute Bar. This is stunning. They just came out with this recently, and I've already played with it multiple times, and I love it so much. She's so pretty. This is just such a me color story. I am the biggest sucker for blue, green, purple. Again, like I said with the Agate Temptation, I love when a palette can have darker shades but also pops of brightness. It's just such a good gradient. It's such a good mixture. I feel like, again, I can really stick with specific color families if I want. I can mix and match. I can stay very dark, but I could also do things that are very bright. And the shimmers are so pretty in here. It's riddled with special shades. So if you're someone who loves special shimmers, you'd be all over this. I love these tones. I honestly can't believe Beaute Bar hasn't really done like a very in-your-face ocean theme like this before, but I am so here for it now. It's just so pretty. I said this in my video playing with this palette actually. I did do a Beaute Bar ranking recently. This had not existed at the time, but I would absolutely put this in like 2nd or 3rd place if I had to add it into that ranking now. It's so me. I love these colors. They bring me a lot of joy. Like just looking at it makes me happy. And honestly, playing with it makes me even happier. I just think it's so cool, and I love it. I love it so much. Cannot say enough good things about this one. And yeah, that's my ranking. I would love to hear your thoughts. Did my thoughts make sense? I hope I conveyed what I was thinking to you as best as I could. I hope this helped you if you were like making any decisions, or maybe you were just here to hang out with me and just see what's new with eyeshadow. Do you have any of these? Do you want any of these? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. And also, do we have similar tastes? Like, are your favorites also some of my favorites? Or maybe it's the opposite, where some of my favorites are your least favorites, because we don't have the same preferences all the time, and that's okay. If you made it to the end of this video, leave your last 10 most recently used emojis, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. And also you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here. And if you want to, you can hop over to my second channel, link to my description box if you want additional content, and also linked to my description box is a link to my channel memberships. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks, and I would love to have you. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep watching, I'll pop a similar one on the screen. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next one.